Alrighty guys, we're back for Grixis Assassins, and this is a Murders at Karlov Manor standard brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a patron suggestion. Thank you so much for the suggestion. It's definitely going to be a fun one. It was essentially to try out the new Etrata, Deadly Fugitive. Hopefully I landed on a fun list for you. This is a 3 mana, 1/4, legendary creature, vampire assassin, does have death touch, nice. Whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage to an opponent, cloak the top card of that player's library. Now, to cloak a card, you put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2, and then you can turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature. But then also, Etrata has this ability where face down creatures you control have 2, a blue and a black. Turn this creature face up. If you can't, you exile it, then you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Actually pretty sick, dude. What a cool build around card. So do you have other assassins packed in here to work with the Etrata, like Raffine Silencer here? This is a 3 mana 1/1. When it ETBs, it connives. Now, when it dies, target creature an opponent controls gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is Raffine Silencer's power. So if you end up conniving something away that's not a land, and it gets up to 2/2, when it dies, you're hitting something for -2/-2. Not half bad, guys. Yeah, I actually don't mind Silencer, especially since it's an assassin that maybe the opponent wouldn't want to block or trade into, right? So maybe it gets through while we have that Etrata down. Do have more assassins in here that might easily be able to hit the opponent's face, like Aven Heartstabber. This is a 2 mana 1/1 flying. Now, when it dies, you mill 2 cards, then draw a card. That's not half bad. But also, as long as there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard, Aven Heartstabber gets +2/+2 and has death touch as well. Pretty cool card, guys. Honestly, I don't think it'll be too hard to get 5 or more mana values in our grave, but it might be harder than I'm thinking. But we have a whole bunch of ways to just plug stuff into our graveyard too, so we'll see, we'll see. And you know, it is a line of play to go ahead and go Aven Heartstabber on 2, and then drop Etrata on 3 and swing in with that Heartstabber and immediately cloak something off the top of the opponent's library, which actually sounds wild to me. We do have more assassins packed in. Pyrotechnic Performer. This is a 2 mana 3/2 with Disguise for 1 red mana. Now, for Disguise, you may cast this card face down for 3 mana. As a 2/2 creature with Ward 2, of course. Now, you turn it face up anytime for its Disguise cost, though only 1 red mana is actually pretty good for a Disguise cost. Whenever Pyrotechnic Performer or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. That's a pretty wild effect, man. I'm interested to see how much that's actually going to do today, too. In the right build, I think that can easily close up some games, you know what I mean? Might as well finish going over the assassins. We also have Massacre Girl, Known Killer. What a cool name, dude. This is a 4 mana, 4/4 legendary creature, human assassin. It does have Menace, and creatures you control have Wither. Well, what the heck is Wither? A source with Wither deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters. That's pretty wild, dude. Now, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, you draw a card. So there's going to be a whole bunch of ways outside of our creatures dealing damage to actually get that card draw off of this, right? Like that Raffine Silencer is a -X/-X ability as well. We have more -X/-X abilities with Stalactite Stalker here at the front of the build. 1 mana 1/1 with Menace at the beginning of your end step. If you descended this turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on Stalactite Stalker. It has that bottom ability for 2 and a black. You can sacrifice it. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is Stalactite Stalker's power. Okay, we actually have even more ways to do -X/-X to creatures, like Chupacabra Echo here, which cares about having stuff in the grave, just like the Heartstabber. And yeah, we do have a ton of ways in here to actually plug things into the graveyard too, which we'll go over in just a second. So Echo's a 4 mana, 3/2. Beast Horror Spirit. So unfortunately not an assassin, but that's okay. It's going to be one of our main pieces of removal, hopefully. Has Fathomless Descent. When Chupacabra Echo enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Check this out, guys. Everything's a permanent. Everything in this build is a permanent. 25 land, 8 enchantments, 1 artifact, 26 creatures. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. So all of our removal, it's just on a permanent card. Yeah, I like that. And so, like, hopefully, Chupacabra Echo, it should be easy peasy to go ahead and go -X, -X, and pretty much take care of anything. I don't think it's going to be unheard of to have, like, 8 permanents in our graveyard in this deck, so. Okay, what else do we go over here, guys? Oh, I missed an assassin on the top end. Vein Ripper. This is a 6 mana, 6/5. Speaking of cool names, Vein Ripper. Oh my. It does have triple black in the casting cost. It shouldn't hold us up too much, honestly. So Vampire Assassin has flying and ward. Sacrifice a creature. That's a disgusting ward cost. So whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Yeah, just whenever a creature dies. Nice. That's pretty cool, man. Speaking of like permanent removal and whatnot, we have Virtue of Persistence here. So when it's in the grave, it will be like that enchantment side. So it will be like that permanent. And the enchantment side, of course, at the beginning of your upkeep, you put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Of course, that could really come in handy. But then, of course, we have that adventure side as well, which we'll be using it very often. So target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn, and you gain 2 life. The -3/-3, that's another way that works with the Massacre Girl to get you more card draw too. More removal in here, Blood Spatter Analysis. This is a 2 mana enchantment, rocking those Rakdos colors up there. Now when it ETBs, it deals 3 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Excuse me, guys. Whenever 1 or more creatures die, you mill a card, and then you put a bloodstain counter on Blood Spatter Analysis. Then sacrifice it if it has 5 or more bloodstain counters on it. When you do, you return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Overall, I think this looks like a solid pick for the list. Like every time a creature dies, you mill a card, so just more ways to keep that graveyard nice and stocked up like we like it for this build. That's more ways to like descend for the Stalker, for example. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. We also have the Everflowing Well in here as a little bit of card draw. This is a 3 mana legendary artifact, and when it ETBs, you mill 2 cards, then you draw 2 cards. Nice. And then it has Descend 8, so at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, you transform Everflowing Well into the Myriad Pools. Legendary artifact land, it taps for a blue. Whenever you cast a permanent spell using mana produced by the Myriad Pools, you up to 1 other target permanent you control becomes a copy of that spell until end of turn. I actually don't know how often the legendary land's going to come in handy outside of just like ramping us a little bit. This card is mostly in here for a little bit of card draw. And yeah, having the Descend 8 ability that ramps us could really come in handy too, when a lot of stuff in here is pretty expensive. Then we also have the Apprentice's Folly. This is a 4 mana enchantment saga. For the first 2 chapters, you choose target non-token creature you control that doesn't have the same name as a token you control. Then you create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. It is a reflection in addition to its other types, and it has haste. And then for chapter 3, you sacrifice all the reflections. I just think there's so many cool things that we could copy, so many cool ETB effects like the echo and whatnot. And then there's also so many cool die effects too for whenever it comes time to actually sacrifice those reflections, like the silencer or the Heartstabber, right? So yeah, as a one of, I want to see if this actually does a thing today. Okay, 1 more card. Oh my goodness. We have a Coerced to Kill. This is a 5 mana enchantment aura. You enchant a creature. You control the enchanted creature. Enchanted creature has base power, toughness 1/1. It has death touch, and it's an assassin in addition to its other types. It might be a janky pick, but I also wanted a 5 mana card in here too. That way it might be a little bit easier to get the Heartstabber to a 3/3, right? Because as it is right now, we have 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, 5, 6, 7, and land as well. So, all right, guys, some honorable mentions. Cards I thought about for the build. I actually thought about cards like Monstrous Rage, things that buff our creature's power. Could go a long way for like Silencer, but also for the Performer's ability too. You can totally buff those disguised creatures before flipping them. You might also be able to like full control, flip them, and then do like the whole buff nonsense too. I don't know. We'll have to test that. But not this time around. Like, where would I have actually fit the Monstrous Rage? And then also, like, the deck isn't trying to be super aggressive either. So later this week, hopefully, I'll be visiting the whole Monstrous Rage side of Performer as well. Thought about cards like Wail of the Forgotten could be cool. Molten Collapse, yep. Push and Pool. Question for you guys. This is a 2-mana sorcery on one end, and then it's a 6-mana sorcery on the other end. How does that work with Aven Heartstabber? When this is in the grave, is it both a 2-mana card and a 6-mana card, or is it like an 8-mana card? Like, what's going on there? You guys will have to let me know. But I did think about this for the build. Thought about Wedding Invitation, especially since we do have some vampires packed in, like Etrata's a vampire and assassin. So yeah, that could be pretty cool. I thought about Invasion of Amonkhet as well, and Starving Revenant could have been cool, but we have so many 4-mana cards already, so not this time round. Oh, guys, the mana base. Oh, man. Yeah, sorry about this. This is one that's taken a while. We are opting for a lot of slow lands. We got the Restless Reef over here. We got the brand new Undercity Sewers for Surveil. We got more Surveil on Thundering Falls. We have more Surveil on the Theater. We also have some slow land with the Haunted Ridge, hopefully not slowing us down too much. And then Xander's Lounge. Look at all those slow land. Oh, buddy. Feel free to maneuver the mana base however you wish, right? Especially if you did not end up collecting any of the new lands just yet. I do think the Surveil lands are going to go a long way, but they might also not be completely necessary too. Sometimes maybe we just want an untapped land, you know what I mean? So, but I wanted to test them out. So, all right, guys, enough rambling, huh? Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. Right into that first game. Let's go. What are you bringing to the table, opponent? In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Ooh, I like this first hand. Opponent goes first, unfortunately. All right, we keep this. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the build. I know one thing, it was very difficult to go over. That took me like 12 minutes. I'm sorry about that, guys. Oh no, right in against mono red? Dude. Well, this is going to be a time, huh? We want to guarantee a turn 2 or just get Stalker down? Probably guaranteed turn 2, I would say. So, Restless Reef for the turn. Yeah, we actually had a decision there. But we're probably in trouble already because they went first, so this could, of course, be very, very dangerous. Right into a Monstrous Rage. Ooh, buddy. Okay, 7 coming through, down to 12. This is our second turn to get the Abandoned Mire down. Oh no, guys. It's one of those first games. So luckily, the rest of our land's coming in untapped. Chupacabra Echo is probably going to be way too late. We definitely need some of our more early removal, which there isn't too much packed in, but of course, like our Adventure, being a little bit of life could be excellent. See what we draw. Some permanents going in. Another Echo. Yeah, they're probably coming out too late, though. Oh, man. Oh no. We're about to go into our turn 3 with 3 life, guys. Oh, no. Well, we better get 2 blockers down, which luckily the mana didn't really hold us up too much. Now, we did miss out on a turn 1 play. But overall, I mean, the opponent could just lightning strike our face this turn anyways. Had we gone first, maybe there was a chance. Maybe. Okay, well, Trample's getting through there, right? So we chump the other 2. Right? That's what we want to do, I would say. Because I mean, if Trample's getting through anyways. We're going down to 1. We are drawing off of the Heartstabber. We do have our removal on the Echo. Oh, Virtue. See, that would have been terrific like last turn. Right? It still hits their powerful Swift Spear, luckily. So we can start with that. We don't need this extra red source, but we'll need the extra mana. Oh, no, we won't. We won't need the extra mana. because we can't play anything else. So we'll go for the Surveil on the Sewers. Massacre Girl. Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of 4-mana cards in here, guys. So there's going to be a lot of moments where if mono red goes first, then we may have a problem. You know what I mean? The life gain on the Virtue is huge. If they don't have burn, we might actually survive another turn, and then maybe the Echo can come down and help us remove more, block more. Okay, with 2 cards in hand. Oh, Witchstalker Frenzy. Yep, that'll do it. Guys, actually, it started to feel like we were about to set something up there. I gotta be real with you. I mean, Mono Red had a beautiful lineup that entire time. Yeah, I'm not complaining with how our deck ended up working out there. Like, the tap lands didn't feel like they slowed us down too much overall either, so... Okay, well, right into the second game. What am I feeling? Hopefully it's not mono red. That's what I'm feeling, right? Or if it is, hopefully we go first too, because yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of decks like this that are trying to get to the mid game. Mono red is an absolute nightmare. Okay. Or depending on what you're seeing, we might just have to change the amount of early removal too. A good hand, right? I mean, I thought the last hand was a good hand too, though, so it really depends what we're up against. And some tap lands, like... The tap lands don't stop us this time around, thanks to the Abandoned Mire, to get a 2-drop down. We just have to decide... Okay, we'll get Xander's Lounge over the Theater. Like, the Surveil early could be good, but just, like, getting that blue source down, too. Yeah, we have to decide whether or not we want to play these as 3-mana cards, and I think we do. Right? Like, we run down Performer, and it immediately gets cut down. Totally fine to play this a little bit slower. A Blood Spatter Analysis. See, that could have been pretty good in the last game as well. Do I keep this? I'll keep it. I'll keep it on top. I guess we don't know what we're up against. Case of the Stashed Skeleton, huh? So they get a 2-1. Can't block with Menace. And then when they don't have the skeletons, it's solved. And then they can pay 2 to search their library for a card. Okay. Okay, well that could be a problem. That's something that we don't necessarily want to remove right now. Because then they just end up finding whatever they want to find with it. I do know one thing, the Ward 2 on the face down card is not bad. And we knew we weren't drawing a 4th mana that turn, so hopefully we see the 4th in a couple turns here. Because for now, we're just going to focus on getting the Performers down, unless we do see that 4th. Creature of the Schism. Okay, we do see the 4th, but it is a tapped land. Totally fine. I suppose it's going to be a Performer. We could go Performer face up and then flip this, and that's like 6 damage to the opponent's face. That's pretty cool. Blood Spatter Analysis does not hit the Preacher, unfortunately. I'm gonna go... Yeah, let's do Performer, and then we'll have this open to flip next turn. We can't swing into the Preacher anyways, so the plan is just to flip it, like when they go for the removal on the other Performer and whatnot. Or, yeah, like there's no real surprise that we want to flip this into as far as the swing goes, because I don't really want to trade it into anything. So we're probably just going to take this. They're going to hold the Preacher back. Okay, there's the swing. Oh, they're going to hold it back. Crap. Okay. But unfortunately, yeah, it just blocks so well. Okay, no blocks. We're going to take the 2-1 damage. Again, like, we really don't want them to search for whatever the heck they want. That we don't want them to grab a Sheoldred from the build. And the blocks are particularly bad, too, so... trading with both of our valuable creatures here. Is it going to be nothing from the opponent? This is pretty good damage for us, honestly. And Chupacabra Echo, there's nothing in the graveyard right now, so we're probably just going to go right into the Massacre Girl. Okay, there's the removal. Okay, well, we flipped this to maximize the amount of damage on this board. And then we'll see what ends up happening here. Might be more removal for the other performers the problem. I think that was worthwhile, right? Ooh, Etrata. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, hold on, hold on. Is it still going to be Massacre Girl, though? Like, they go for the throat and pick up a very valuable creature? That would kind of suck. We can't get this performer past the preacher. The 2/4 is just a little bit too good right now. Apprentice's Folly, not quite yet, huh? So we're just going to go Massacre Girl and then just pass the turn. I mean, I guess we could swing. And if they block, then it gets -X minus counters. But I still think that's a really good block for them, right? But like, no attacks. Yeah, because the Wither's the thing, you know? And also, they could spot remove the Massacre, and then, like, the Wither doesn't happen. So that would be really bad. Candy Grapple. Oh, man. They go ahead and sacrifice the skeleton. So now, this will solve at the end of their turn. They swing with the Preacher. Yep, we're just going to take that too. Sheoldred. Oh, buddy, the opponent's deck looks nasty. I like the Candy Grapple addition with the Case of the Stashed Skeleton. Very cool opponent. Very, very neat. So a lot of our removal just isn't hitting the stuff yet. If we get like Blood Spatter Analysis down, if we would have gotten this down earlier, first of all. Okay, hold up. So I'm going to take care of their Sleeper before that gets out of hand. Get that down. And then we'll start milling to get more for the Chupacabra to eventually take care of the Sheoldred, right? Going to be a Virtue. We'll get Heartstabber down. 3 out of the 5 for the Heartstabber. It's a good chump blocker when it comes time. And then we'll mill more with the Blood Spatter. Have I been saying Splatter? I actually don't know. I just caught myself from saying it, so I don't know if that's what I've been saying or not. It's Blood Spatter Analysis. Yeah, so Mono Black potentially getting new toys from the new set with this Case of the Stashed Skeleton, huh? Because right now they could totally search for whatever they want. Okay, yep, I'm going to go ahead and chump the Sheoldred. We are at 12. We're going down to 10 here, so scary stuff. Preacher of the Schism being a 2/4 is actually really rough. So we're also milling to drawing on the Heartstabber. So Chupacabra should be able to hit Sheoldred next turn. Oh, and then the 2 from the Sheoldred just punishing us for getting the draw on the Heartstabber too. They go ahead and search. What are they searching for? They could search for whatever they want, man. They don't even have to show us. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay. It's going to be... Oh, crap. Dude, that's really bad. Echo is out of here. That's really bad. I wonder if that's what they grabbed with the skeleton. Yeah, there's no way Chupacabra Echo survives, right? Yeah. Crap, dude. Raffine Silencer, that's probably not going to be enough. Oh no, hopefully we draw more of our removal. Let's check what hit the grave over here. Okay, so we lost 2 Virtue of Persistences. So no life gain for a little while. We only have 1 more of those. Dude, Deep Cavern Bat just wrecked our soul. I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure. We might be able to get this assassin through. Unfortunately, they still have 1 in hand, 2 swamps open. So we're going to go Etrata. I think we're like... I think we're really, really close to death. So let's see if we can actually get this performer through, or if they just chump. Which I'm pretty sure they chump with the 1/1, because worst comes to worst. Yeah, if it ever comes down to it, they'll just get an extra 1. See what we mill here. Oh, Vein Ripper, cool. We also have the Descend on the Stalker. That goes up to a 2/2. The good news here is if they don't have removal for Etrata, it does have Death Touch. Oh man, Mono Black might be looking better than ever. Drown in Ichor. Huh. I wonder what the proliferates for. Right? Or did they just go for the -4/-4 ability? Maybe they also have Massacre Girl in there, right? So we'll chump here, take 3. We're going to take 2 from the Shieldred draw. Dude, we're in big trouble. Losing that Chupacabra, like that was our way to clean up this Shieldred. Now whatever we grab here goes to hand, so I suppose like Etrata. Now, Aven Heartstabber will be a 3/3 Death Touch as well. A Massacre Girl's not bad too. What do I want here? I don't know what I want. I guess if we see a land, we'll be able to play 2 things on the same turn if I grab the Heartstabber. Yeah, if we see like an untapped source for some reason, then we can go Silencer and Heartstabber. Oh, or if we see another 2-drop, we can go double Heartstabber. That's actually not bad, is it? Unfortunately, because Shieldred has survived, they just go ahead and... This can't block, can it? So if we would have grabbed Etrata, we could have actually done that. Yeah, they dropped the GG because they can just go ahead and pass it back. Good game, opponent. Yeah, Deep Cavern Bat really coming in clutch for them. So I wonder if that is what they ended up grabbing off the case of the stashed skeleton. The Preacher of Schism was super rough that entire time. They actually go for a swing here. Oh, I guess, yeah, they're wide enough to go ahead and get the 2 through no matter what, so... I wasn't even paying attention that they were wide enough there. Because I thought they were just going to pass it back. Okay. So far... So seeing the 4 mana there... Definitely didn't feel like enough mana. We did end up milling some though, right? Ended up milling only a mountain? Oh, Undercity Sewers, Undercity... So we ended up milling 3 mana in the top 42. Okay, so losing some mana to the mill, that was pretty bad, right? Do want to double check real quick here, because I always forget how much mana I actually put into these. Okay, 25. There's so many 4-drops and like so many, like we want to get that echo down as soon as possible. In that last game, we were actually just having trouble getting stuff into the grave at first, but after we actually got some stuff established, it was easy peasy getting stuff into the grave. Maybe we consider 26 mana. At that point, I don't exactly know what we would end up dropping. Okay, opponent goes first. We have some early removal, so if it's more mono red, at the very least, we have -3/-3 gain 2. It's very, very good against mono red, so we'll give it a shot. And we have the untapped mountain if we do need to go into that right away. We don't have double black in hand for Massacre Girl, though, so... Blood-type Harvester could be a problem. Okay, there's double black. Maybe we remove that right away while we can. How you guys feel about that? Nah. Let's get the Undercity Sewers down. Let's get the Scry. Virtue? I'll keep that on top, actually. We'll play the Stalactite Stalker. And if I would have sent it, Stalker would have gotten a counter. Definitely something to consider. But I actually like seeing the Virtue. Because in a deck that runs Blood-type Harvester, we might actually have some good targets for this Virtue of Persistence. Except for Preacher of the Schism being a horrible card to go up against, man. Oh, jeez. All right, let's get that. Okay, let's send that. So we have descended. Beautiful. At this point, Performer? Nah. We're just going to go, well, getting Massacre Girl down first would be pretty good. Nah, I mean, we have 2 of them. We should stop this swing. I don't really want to trade with the Stalker yet. We could go for the swing. Not a great block here anyways. Might as well. Poke 1 damage through since I don't plan on blocking. Get that counter on the Stalker. It's actually going to be really good because of these Surveil effects. They get the 1/1. Oh, since we tied, they get both. Oh, no. Maybe I shouldn't have swung since we were both at 19. They go cut down. Sure, sure. So Massacre Girl doesn't get hit by cut down, but it does get hit by everything else in Rakdos. Well, depending. If it's like a Brotherhood Zen style, at least it's a 4/4, you know? We have 3. All right, we're going to take the turn to try to set up with Massacre Girl, and hopefully it doesn't get hit by Go for the Throat right away. It is, in fact, sticking, and it was not a Go for the Throat. That is huge for us, man. Oh, man. I'm over here sweating. We have so many value creatures that are getting picked up easily from the opponents. Wow, Liliana off of the Appraiser. Well, there goes Massacre Girl. Oh, no, guys. We're getting picked apart. Great swing from the opponent here. Preacher gets the ability again, keeping their hand nice and stocked. Virtue of Persistence just not hitting as much as we would like. They still have an open swamp. Okay, we're gonna go, crap, dude. Okay, let's start with the Surveil. Etrata, there we go. Okay. Okay. Dude, the Preacher of the Schism has been a huge problem for us in these last 2 games. Just the fact that the 4 toughness has actually been really hard to take care of. And then Liliana's going to have us discard. So if we get a couple creatures down and established, I guess we're just going to go Performer awkwardly and then take out the Appraiser. I guess. I don't know. That's tough because we only had 4 open, so if we went ahead and played a Performer face down, like, it would be cool to actually get the ball rolling with some extra damage, but either way, we're going to have to discard, and it's probably going to be the second Performer anyways. Trumpeting Connoisseur. It's a Appraiser. Here comes Liliana number 2. No, it's going to be a Deep Cavern Bat, actually, so they get to pick whatever card that, and then they go, plus on the Liliana to just have us straight up discard the other one. That's brutal, man. Holy cow. These have been tough games, man. These have been really tough. Our poor Etrata will come down next turn, and at that point, they do have the -2 on the Liliana, but luckily we have the Performer. But I'll tell you what, guys, this is definitely feeling like they're going to be able to remove both of these easily. We can't even successfully swing here either. So, crap. Children. How many permanents do we have? And we have 4 permanents in the grave right now. They go Anoint with Affliction. Exile target creature with that has mana value 3 or less. Oh, man. They go Liliana. They go Full Swing. All right. Well, at that point, I wonder what we could see off the top. I guess not. Oh, that was exactly lethal. Oh, crap, dude. Oh, crap. Sometimes it feels like it lines up a little bit too perfectly. Seeing that Liliana off of the first Appraiser was kind of wild, man. Not being able to keep that Massacre Girl on the board was really bad. And their Anoint with Affliction actually didn't hit the Massacre Girl there anyways because of we weren't corrupted, right? So it has to be 3 or less, but it hit the Etrata regardless. But still, yeah, keeping that Massacre Girl, man, that's really hard for me to say for some reason. Massacre Girl. Keeping that on the board for 1 extra turn, I think that would have really gone a long way for us, guys. I really do. About 34 minutes in, really tough matches. I do still believe in the build. So I think we can end on a high note. Now, the opponent goes first here, unfortunately. All right, let's keep this. It seems like a totally fine hand with some actually fast lands, too. So, Kiba Reckoner Raid. So, Abandoned Mire. Let's get that Stalker down right away. And depending on what happens, we might set up the blue source. Okay, they go ahead and pass it back. Reckoner Raid flips next turn. It does not have haste. Okay, we also have Xander's Lounge in hand. So I could get the Performer down. Or I could just Surveil for the turn. And get the, there we go. Yeah, get the Stalker, an extra counter. No removal from the opponent. Yeah, we don't need more land on the top, so the Surveil actually really helped us out there. Oh no, is this mono black skeletons? Oh no, that's actually really sick though. Blood spatter analysis. Not a bad thing at all. Bean's Tower. If we go for another counter on the Stalker, it would be Blood Spatter. We remove the 3/2 skeleton that has haste. Beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, you may pay 1 life. If you do, return corpses of the lost to the owner's hand. This has Menace too, so... yeah, actually, I shouldn't have played the untapped land. At this point, I'm going to go Everflowing Well to make sure we still get the counter on the Stalker, and then actually restock our hand a little bit too. That's pretty good, probably. So another counter on the Stalker. So if I was just going to go Blood Spatter, I would have wanted to play my tapped land for the turn to make sure it's untapped for next turn. They do have 5 on the board, so we're going down to 10 potentially. Life of Toshiro. I wonder if they go +2/+2. I mean, they don't want the -1, and they don't need the life gain. So yeah, they're just going to go maximum amount of damage here. Down to 8. We do have a little bit of life gain with that Virtue. It depends what we want to do here. But we probably want to double down on removal to make sure they don't have a target for the +2/+2. So we're going to go Haunted Ridge. You want to start with the Blood Spatter analysis. We'll go ahead and hit the 3/2 skeleton. We get that mill, so we get that descend on the Stalker. Oh no, Etrata. Oh well. We can eventually bring it back is the thing. And we'll go Virtue. -3/-3 on the Road Captain. And we get the mill on the Blood Spatter. Okay, and we'll swing. We are somehow trying to outpace them with this one Stalactite Stalker, which is actually really good so far, isn't it? We're able to descend every turn quite effectively. If we didn't want to go for the removal on the Virtue that turn, we could have played the Aven Heartstabber too. Oh my, okay, well that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Okay, we are 1 turn away from Vein Ripper, which might be enough to block in the air. We could also ditch the Stalactite Stalker to kill this. It flips into a land. To transform it back, we'd have to have 1 or fewer cards in hand. But that does ramp them too. But that would still be pretty good, wouldn't it? Yeah, we should probably take care of that, unfortunately, guys, right? Still want to get, like, Aven Heartstabber down or just Lounge for the turn? I think it's going to be Lounge for the turn to set up for the Vein Ripper next turn. Mill. Mill. A lot of cards in the grave. Xander's Lounge. Like I said, to set up now, we have the 6 mana required for the Vein Ripper. Yeah, hopefully I'm playing this out well enough. A lot of decisions. Massacre girl. Okay. Well, we got that descend. Oh, we actually, yeah. Since we had 8, we were going to have the 6 anyways. So we actually could have played the Crucible last turn to actually get one of our 2-drops down too. And at that point, hopefully this ward is enough, but they just sacrifice Memory of Toshiro quite successfully. It's a bit of life gain too, though. This is definitely the play, right? Permanent. Oh, that's right. That's right. We could turn the Blood Spatter analysis into the Vein Ripper. Oh my goodness, dude. That's really cool. Until end of turn. So I guess we swing with it then, right? Jeez, bro. Oh my goodness. Something we could have done was play Crucible beforehand, tapped everything except for a black source, and actually played the Stalker that turn too. But keeping Crucible back as utility land is not a bad thing by any means, because you never know when you're going to need more chump blockers on the ground. So Massacre Girl, known killer, has that menace. So we might still be in danger here. They play a land. I wonder if they're flooding a little bit. We're going to attempt the block. It goes in form of -1/-1 counters, but the death gains us a little bit of life. So I guess the counters on that and everything. Oh, we get Etrata back. Oh, Massacre Girl, dude. I'm thinking Etrata though. We got to do the thing. We got to do the thing, guys. Opponent, please don't concede. You got this, buddy. I believe in you. Just stick around. Stick around. I need this Etrata on the board. Okay, if you descended this turn, they're going to go ahead and bounce that back to their hand. Let's get that Etrata down. I don't want to use the pools, so I'm just going to decline, submit 0, right? All right, dude, sick. All right, let's get that swing. And then we cloak the top card, which we might want to go ahead and do this turn. It is a swamp. We do not want to do this turn. 1, 2. So we'll get Heartstabber down. That's a 3/3 with Death Touch. We'll go ahead and Surveil, so that way we descend for the Stalker. Keep the Echo on top for sure. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, dude. Well, this just lined up so much better for us. Like all those other games, were we just getting unlucky? Is that just standard sometimes? I don't know. Let me know in the comments for sure. But yeah, I really felt like it lined up a little bit too well for the opponents in some of those matches. But now, I mean, look at us. Now it feels, yeah, GG opponent. We actually got the Etrata doing the thing. Unfortunately, we didn't hit anything cool with it. We just hit a land, but still. I mean, we can't ask for more, right? But I mean, I'm going to try one more match and then hopefully it doesn't take too long because we're about 41 minutes in. But the deck is definitely fun enough, and we definitely got like wrecked enough in those early matches to say, okay, well, let's find out right now if that was luck or not. So if we end up getting absolutely destroyed in this last game, then we know it might it might just be how the deck is set up. And it might come down to the simple case of slow land. Like, you never know. Like, we don't have a turn 2 here. We have a turn 2 1-drop, which isn't that bad, honestly, but... And we go first, too, so hey, that's not bad. Let's get that lounge down. Oh, and the slow Surveil lands were really good there for the Stalker, for sure. And then also, uh-oh. Okay, thank goodness we went first, but, like, we need more removal in this hand immediately. Opponent goes for the swing. Yep. And we go lounge. Stalker, which unfortunately is not an assassin, so if we go right into the Etrata, which we probably do anyways, a 1/4 Death Touch hopefully doesn't get picked up by too much in mono red, and hopefully just acts as an incredible blocker. Nano, buff the Swift Spear. But like Raffine Silencer, same concept. If they end up burning it away and we get the Connive well enough, maybe it's Silencer actually. And then Surprise Etrata, maybe we can actually swing with an Assassin. Okay, they pass it back. Xander's Lounge. A little bit of lag there for some reason. Alright. Silencer, get the Connive. That gets the Descend on the Stalker. Another Silencer. I actually don't mind all of these, but I think 2 should be enough. So we'll use one of those. And the Heartstabber flying, I don't plan on blocking with the Stalker. Get that Descend. Anyways, the flying on the Heartstabber might come in handy if we need to block like a Phoenix Chick or chump a Godric or something. So it's going to be Imodane's Recruiter. Dude, okay. That's a problem. I will gladly trade into that Recruiter. We could also take out the Swift Spear here, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. but I think it's Recruiter, right? How you guys feel about that? Xander's Lounge, another Raffine Silencer. Let's see what we see. We might keep the, okay, second Etrata. I suppose we get rid of one, right? Get the Connive. Swing in. Yeah, I don't plan on blocking with the Stalker. It gets another counter. Now, this was a game where we actually got to set up against Mono Red, which is huge for us, right? Like, they didn't have an incredibly fast start. Like that first Mono Red game, right? We were down to 3 on our turn 3, which is just insane to me. Oh, no. Okay, well, we'll trade into... Oh, Etching Exiles. We got to remember that. We cannot trade into Swift Spear, but we will trade into Etching. Yeah, the exile effect really sucks, but we got to get that off the board, I would say, and take less damage here, too. Other words, we would have traded into Swift Spear, probably. Okay. So, at this point, getting a Etrata down as just a nice Death Touch creature is totally fine. And it should be able to block relatively well. The second Etching also has that exile effect too, so like all these die triggers with the Heartstabber and everything, we could always... Ooh, Devastator. If I control Enchanted Creature, it doesn't lose the counters, right? It shouldn't. Okay, let's start with that Surveil. Okay, we don't need more land right now, I don't think. All right, let's try it out. I think this keeps the counters, so this should be a 5/5. That's mine now. That's my 5/5, bro. Let's see what they do with the Etrata. I should have started with this, by the way. I just got so excited to steal their Devastator. It's a Ginger Brute. Dude, we're probably in trouble. We might die this turn. This is fun, though. It's a good time. Imodane's Recruiter, it's like I said, dude, we might die this turn. All they need is a Play with Fire. Anything, and not to hit the face down card, because we just block their biggest thing, and then the Swift Spear Play with Fire gets the 8 through. Yep. So it could just, that could be it. I guess the Etching at that point. Let's see the Play with Fire opponent, or Monstrous Rage too. Oh no, this was such a cool game too, though. What did they end up doing there? A good game opponent. Dread Maz Ire. Ah, that was a cool match. That was cool, but yeah, no, Mono Red just really knows how to plug that damage through no matter what. Even different versions of Mono Red. Nice. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact that player controls. Okay. And then like the Imodane's Recruiter and everything, a little bit of a different version of Mono Red, which of course you guys know I really appreciate. All right, guys, let's go over the deck again. Some really cool stuff right now. Standard being standard, it is a tough uphill battle. Oh, buddy, put this one on the do not craft list for sure. We have the, Etrata is a really neat card, really neat build around. It is mythic, though. So definitely something to consider. Performer is rare. Now, I do have other decks that have Performer, but boy, it did not perform today by any means. It was actually more often than not like a dead card in here, even though it was an assassin. In the build around, the whole point was actually having assassins. It was actually just very hard to ever do a thing with this card in this particular build. So, and all 4 of those, that's rare, right? And then like, the Stalker, that's rare. Apprentice's Folly, I just didn't get to do a thing because the opponents were so fast and so effective at removing everything and actually just plugging in that damage as soon as possible too. The Folly was just way too slow. This one's rare, Massacre Girl. This is a mythic. Some of the cards are budget friendly, right? Chupacabra Echo is only uncommon, and so is the Silencer. Heartstabber's rare as well. Blood Spatter Analysis is rare. Oh. Virtue of Persistence, that's mythic. Vein Ripper, that's mythic. And then don't even get me started on the mana base. I don't even think I have to go over why this is a put it on the do not craft list. However, if you happen to have the cards and you're sitting there thinking like, man, Red, I don't know how you get so unlucky. Then definitely, if you have the cards, try it out and let me know. Does it does it perform better? I'm moving those over so we can see the lands over here. All of these lands are rare, so yeah, dude, that's excessive. And when I was going over the list, I brought up, like, I don't know if the Surveil lands are necessary for the build, and maybe we just want fast lands anyway. So you, of course, could rearrange the mana base based on the lands that you actually have in your collection, too. That being said, the Surveil on these were actually really good, weren't they? Especially with that Stalactite Stalker, which kind of outperformed a lot of the other cards in the list today, too, so... I'm just glad we were able to get that one clean victory against Mono Black. That was excellent. We actually had the Etrata on the board. The Vein Ripper did a thing too, so that was sick. I guess I could have rearranged those a little bit better, but yeah. Chupacabra Echo. I thought this was going to do a lot more today, but again, just like the opponents were so clean and effective at removing everything and getting the damage through that they needed to get through, that by the time we had 4 mana to spend, we were like sweating so hardcore. Like we just had to do a couple of our 2 mana things instead of a 4 mana thing. And then like that one play from the opponent where their bat came down to take out the Echo so that way we couldn't hit the Shielder, that had to have been the play that won them that game for sure, right? I think so, because that Shielder did way too much damage to us for every turn after that, so... Yeah, no, there's a case to be made for Echo as like a very important and key piece to the deck. But what if we just like drop 2 of these and go up a couple Go for the Throats? Like, would that be a similar concept? Would that be just as good? Because you don't have to have all permanents in here. Because the only things that care about having the permanents is the Echo itself and the Everflowing Well as well, which we don't always have to flip into the pools either. So, right? I think that's the only things. And then the Coerced to kill here, it doesn't like untap the creature. So as you saw, we spent all of our mana on this card to get the Devastator, which remained tapped, which is why the mono red player in the last match was actually able to get that damage through anyways. So if this said untap, this would actually be really neat, wouldn't it? Outside of that, not every creature you steal is actually going to have +1/+1 counters anyways. So more often than not, you're probably going to steal the thing and it's just going to be a 1/1. But still, 1/1 Death Touch blocks into a lot anyway. So probably a janky pick. Probably need to look for a different 5 mana card. Not just like a different card in general, probably a different 5 mana card to make sure that the Heartstabber actually... has more that can hit the grave to actually get it up to a 3/3 with Death Touch, which isn't always necessary. The main reason it's in here is, of course, just a flying assassin. And then the death abilities, guys, like with all the exile effects in Standard 2, and then etching, having that exile effect too. So like Raffine's Silencer and the Heartstabber having a little bit of trouble against etching style builds, which is sometimes like every other build. So you never know. The die effects are pretty janky then if that's the standard we're looking at for the next few months. So really depends, man. Hey, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, a great place for the community to just chat it up, drop their deck lists, all that other stuff like Discord suggestions and anything like that, right? It's a great place for the community to come together. And then also down in the description, we have that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. All right, guys. Hey, I will see you in the next video.